video. And we're on Black Jester Matters. I gotta make sure that mic is working. Yep. Black Jester Matters, and my name is Galakbudai, and I'm gonna talk about something horrifying. But, and hopefully it's a word you'll search for more information, because I don't like talking about this. Manosphere never talks about it. They're all about men's health, but now apparently this is too scary for them. They call the people cucks. Um, just ask yourself, have I ever wanted to cut my dick off? Because that's sort of what's happened to me. This here is at damagedcock.com, and damagedcock.com has some wares that express the anguish of hypospadias in my own experience. And, including the stent I once had in my... Anyway, hide my face and move things over to this page, just so people can get a good look at what it is. Hypospadias, birth defect, in which the opening of the urethra is on the underside of the penis instead of at the tip. It is on the underside of the penis instead of at the tip. The urethra is the tube through which the piss hole, pissing tube. Hypospadias is common and doesn't cause difficulty in carrying the infant, and surgery usually restores the normal. And for me, not for me. But I'm glad that some people don't have to go through the lifetime of it. And hypospadias, the opening in the urethra, is underside. In my case, I had like all the way down. This is what I understand for the botched surgery. Genetics, my mother's before 35. Exposure to certain substances during pregnancy. So who knows, maybe it was a pesticide. It matters what it is, right? That's basically what happens. The audio is probably a little odd because I'm actually showing stuff, but oops, that's... So yeah, what this thing is something where people are gonna probably wonder why. Oh fuck my fuck! This is really not the good time for fucking batteries to... Nothing ever works. Okay, good. Plug this into the charge. A very convenient time. Normally I do double check it. Well, what can I do? Oh, pain in the ass. I think I gotta cut this, but no. So, yeah, I got lots of height, nice hair, but a malfunctioning pisser is something that I have, and it's a nasty thing. I've suspected that, although no one's ever gotten data on hyperspace people and the crimes, I figure a lot of men go through a number of nasty situations. So there were these accused of being these incel killers and something that might have actually had this problem. I don't know. It doesn't excuse it because I don't do that shit, but I mean, it's a sort of dysmorphic thing and fucks you with your head a bit. And well, even to the point where I've even thought of taking a butcher knife and cutting the dick off, because it's a constant reminder of a very horrible thing. And I can't exactly get revenge at the doctors, they're dead. Nothing I did. Yeah, my urologist originally, they botched the job. Most do tend to be lucky enough to get out of it. Left me with scar tissue in the urethra. Having to go back to constant dilations and reconstructions now and then. And I discovered vitamin E has some positive effect, at least on a correlation level, though I'm not sure. It's a terrible thing. It's I really don't want to be talking about, but I mean, it's functionally fine as a sexual organ, but that doesn't matter to me. The fact that would have trouble removing. I mean, I got powerful kidneys, so I survived some nasty situations because as a result of this problem. But my last pediatric surgeon was rather surprised by it. Kind of pediatric to adult, actually, because I think the last time was an adult when I saw him. But anyway, he did both. But it's a unfortunate thing. A lot of people don't understand this thing, and it's not. It's not fun. Not fun at all. I try to do this stuff to try to drum up, you know, um, awareness about it. Uh, Try to understand. I don't like doing it much. I don't like complaining. I don't like to. I like to mock it. I like to mock it, like the illustration or illustrations I've put on merch and basically editorial cartoon my own dick. The Avenge the Fallen parody thing with a. It's it's um it's much more fun to make fun of it and joke, but there's a serious side to it, and I should probably share that. And get, but it's damage meatus. But anyway, I didn't want to do this video. I just kept on pushing myself not to and delaying or podcast. I actually didn't want to do one until after the election was over and things kind of settled down a bit. But yeah, it's it's an unfortunate situation. It's a I it's it's definite proof there's no patriarchy, because a patriarchy would have solved this problem. I mean, the best hospital is for this problem, if you for resolving it, is in, I think, Bahrain or something like that, co-run by Indians, East Indians, and those are patriarchies, many manners speaking, and they do a better job of clearing these problems, as far as I understand. Of course, it's got a lot of private money too. That's an issue. Um, I have it's my eyes are watery as hell right now. Kind of ironic since I'm not even in the mood to. Unless the day's up, blue sky. But yeah, it's dreadful. There's thoughts of self-mutilation and harm early on. I mean, I mocked myself out of it, I guess, by joking and stuff. But not it's not easy developing relationships and stuff like that, and as a result, kind of it kind of fucks your it kind of fucks things up quite a bit. Uh, I don't know how to talk about it without making it whiny and stuff like that, so I don't want to talk about it too much. I just wanted people to be aware of this thing and look it up. Look up hypospadias, look up hypospadias cripple. I mean, maybe donate something to a local urology ward or something. You know. They're usually called the urology and kidney stone department or something like that. I But I mean, if there's any research programs for the stuff, I try to support it if you can. I don't know of any, at least any promising ones. And that's the problem. And when you're my age and you still have it, it's like they have a lot of optimistic things to say about new treatments and stuff at that point. But even if it would work, you're just not. You no longer. You're pretty well blackpilled to it. It's pretty well blackpilled to the notion of ever seeing a proper stream, I guess you might say. So, yeah, so yeah, I mean, it's an upsetting thing. It's, it's kind of hard to explain the feeling, but it's you basically hate your PS. You hate it. You never. There's not a day goes by. It's a positive memory or thing you like or you know thing you like about yourself. I mean, it could be. I mean, it could be full Congo sized, and you'd still hate it because it doesn't matter. You, if you can't piss without it hurting or something. I mean, I actually got burning urine from this problem, and I didn't even have any of the fun that comes before it. I'm not saying I didn't get an STD. I mean, just literally, I didn't get an STD. There's no fun at all. You still get these symptoms. You get these infections at times. I mean, it's not always gonna be. It's not a perpetual infection, but this prone. It's prone. So I had to be extra careful. It's especially harder even to consider sex because you know, you're not sure even of the how much more vulnerable things are because there's no real information on that either. Because no one's aware of it, no one cares to research enough about these side issues. There aren't a lot of pamphlets about these things and stuff like that. And you even search on it, you might find a limited amount of information, probably enough to understand the problem. Uh, there are a lot of boys and men out there who are going through lots of shame and feeling lots of shame all the time because of this problem. They feel useless and unhappy. I mean, a lot of people, I mean, there are people who are saying, oh, I almost killed myself because I lost my wife and blah, blah. You know, maybe think about this and smile. Because, shit, man, if you can, if you can launch a straight stream, man, if you can actually enter a pissing contest without it spraying everywhere, you should be pretty fucking happy. And you managed to have a proper relationship. That's probably something you should be happy about too. I mean, maybe it went bad, fine. Of course, in some cases, some people probably have bad relationships because of this. Some of them probably get stuck worshiping thoughts because of this, and that's probably one place I normally defend thoughts, and I don't like to harp on people in these industries, but you can you can run into a situation where, in a way, you circumvent their consent because if they've got this problem and no one raised them to understand it properly or they never got proper support in life, they probably are very susceptible to any sort of smile or wiles from people on the internet, women in particular. And they could end up sort of folding out their pocket money and stuff like that. And I'm sure some cuckery, too, even comes from that, too. Men who don't feel they're worth better than a terrible situation. It was easy to mock someone saying, but she loves me, but it's, I mean, what if that guy always had this problem, and that's what happened? You know, he thought, well, she loves me for who I am. You know, turned out, wasn't the case. He ends up in even a darker place than he started. It's a very ununderstood thing. And I think unwittingly, some people actually end up taking advantage of it. I'm not sure if more people knew about this, they probably wouldn't. Certainly, some people would, but there are a lot of monsters out there. But that's sad. I mean, you go through this. One of the most offensive things you even discover is that people get off for sounding, where they stick a medical sound or anything into a penis hole and shove it in there. People get off on this. That's a medical procedure when you're in this situation. That's, I guess, a high level of ableism involved in that fetish. The cold is starting to catch up on very cold weather. Fireplace stopped of old times. But yeah, I mean, it's it's a terrible thing, and it's something that affects men primarily. I've heard of some vague things where females have had some urethra problems, but I'm not sure it's the same. And all these people that talk about men's health, men's health, men's health, I never ever hear them talk about this, which forces my hand, and I don't really like to have to do it. Um, it's it's not fun. It's not fun. We got a it's a world full of. I mean, I'm glad I have a sense of humor and I can mock it, my illustrations and stuff like that, and I can have a laugh on it, meme the damn thing. But you know, a lot of people who can't. There's a lot of people who never get a chance to hear about. There's a lot of loneliness and isolation involved in the feelings around this whole thing, and it's unfortunate. It's very unfortunate. I don't know what else to say. Um, Explain. You have to self-sound yourself. Essentially, you have to self-dilate yourself. much of the time because the governments that paid for the botched surgeries and don't want to pay for the time to have you sounded when. It's kind of funny because there were doctors that would say not a good idea to do it yourself. Uh, so, but but they it's a it's it's very painful. It's very mentally irking when you have to widen your piss hole all the way down to your all the with the base area or something like that, and keep it stretched out because it tightens every so often. That's one of the things that goes on. Dilations, as well as reconstructions and stuff like that, is a very unfortunate thing. And it's another reason I didn't really want to talk about it because it's kind of like stressful enough to keep you from pacing it properly. So there's I don't even know if there's any medical doctors that do manosphere stuff, but it's 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 nasty. It's what can a person say? We I mean, I'm fortunate. I grew up in another generation because if I had this now, they'd probably be pressuring me to become a woman. Which probably isn't good for someone who's about, you know, hitting 6 feet and uh, they do it for different, lesser complications. But yeah, they probably suggested hormone treatment and stuff like that. And there could be kids now growing up through that with that problem. They're saying, well, this would be a solution, be a girl. It's not a solution. It's, I mean, it'd be nice if, doctors could just wave a magic wand and cure you. That'd be nice. But, it's not going to happen. And, as Franklin said, God heals, the doctor takes the pay. And if God can't figure this out. Well, actually, it's part of the problem with this scar tissue is it kind of exists somewhat like a living thing in a way that, I mean, I think I swore I heard it alert my immune system to help it at one point when it was sounding. Maybe because I'm a very self-aware person, but just like I felt it go. I heard it in my brain in a way, like it was screaming for help. is trying to survive on my own immune system, which makes it really weird. It's like a parasitic thing. I don't know. It's kind of strange. But it's kind of stuck there. It's not exactly going to spread, but as far as I know, no. Well, yeah, it's not going to spread. But this is it's scar tissue is a bitch. It's a pain in the ass. It's gonna be a pain in the ass. So anyway, it's something you can't really flash in a live stream either in most places. It's like, here, let me show you what it looks like. But you just can't do that. It's like people say, why don't you just type in SFW or whatever. It's it's out there and it's hurting kids, boys, it's hurting men. Of course, the worst of it is, botched surgeries and like I had, and these scar tissues and stuff like that. Most of them do recover from surgery and have it okay, but I drew a short straw on that one, and it's very unfortunate. And there are others like me, and uh, it's not it, they should. I know some people don't want to believe it or hear about it, and men probably don't. That's probably why the manosphere doesn't talk about it, because they're crapping their crotch every time they hear about, or every time they see a surgery or hear about a surgery or hear about this problem. Of course, these things, certain things take courage to discuss. Personally, I just like it to be something people are aware of. You know, it's so it's like a positive minute. Well, it's uh, particularly I like talking about myself, but this is a difficult one. 1999 was my last reconstruction that had required a urethral bypass because the urethra was clogged completely by scar tissue, and then it needed a reconstruction on top of that, and it still hasn't been adequate enough. Possibly because my age, I was already over 18, and things are going to start stabilizing soon. Now it'll be a nightmare if I, but that's that. It is what it is. I it just I wish people understood the psychology about it more. Understood that sometimes people are screaming and pissed off because this doesn't work, and then maybe they realizing that some of the machinery they have to buy doesn't work adequately enough, and it reminds them of what they got that doesn't work. And A lot of things. A lot of things. And you gotta think about how difficult it is for a lot of the mothers, especially the ones that care. Well, probably only worry about the ones that care, but and there's a lot of guilt that goes their way because they, not that they deserve it, but they think that there could have been something that they could have resolved. There's nothing you can really do about it, but so it affects women adversely too. That have children. It's not something you can predict in a kid. It's something like that. There. It'd be nice just to see more data on these problems and how they relate to suicides, murders, and stuff like that, and actually be a variable out there. Which doesn't seem so. Seems to be a non-variable. And Odyssey. This is an office front end on it. Man. I hope I didn't make too much of a space in between these. It's kind of... Oh. Freaking exhausted. So yeah. That's that, I guess, yeah. I'm just gonna stop stuff. I'll just, upload things later.